Hey, it's Whitney from EcoVeganGal.com, and I know that you're always looking for simple ways that you can make your lifestyle as eco-friendly, as healthy, as planet-friendly, as animal-friendly as possible. I've got a great tip for you in this video, and this tip is really dear to my heart, and I think a really important eco issue to bring up because it's something that we can do every single day of our lives. There are lots of things that we do kind of unconsciously without realizing the impact on the environment. And this tip is related to your teeth. What do you do at least once a day, hopefully? You brush your teeth. Most people brush their teeth morning and night. You're supposed to. I encourage you to, right? If you're not caring for your teeth, let me pause here for a second. Aside from the eco-friendliness of this tip, this is also a big, important health tip. I learned from my amazing dentist that you can actually lengthen your life by about 5 to 10 years when you take good care of your teeth and your gums. So please brush your teeth. But I also want to make sure that you're brushing your teeth with an eco-friendly way. Did you know that 4.7 billion plastic toothbrushes are produced every year? I need to pause for effect there because when I read that number, it was so mind-blowing. I mean, that's worldwide, that's not just in the United States, but still, people replace or should replace their toothbrushes every 3 months approximately. So you're using a new toothbrush every 4 months, and chances are you're probably using a plastic toothbrush. I was for a while too. Once I started getting more into the eco-friendly way of things, I started using a recycled plastic toothbrush, but it's still plastic. And I read this great book years ago called Plastic Free by Beth Terry. She talks about this in there. Really great book. I'll link to it down below if you want to learn. It's really important actually for you to learn as much as you can about plastic and your impact on it, because what we don't realize, and in the case with plastic, is even if it's a recycled plastic, if it ends up in the landfill, which it probably will, it just sits there without biodegrading. Or it can even end up in the ocean. In fact, there are tons of toothbrushes floating around in our ocean, killing animals. So if you're concerned about animals, being concerned about what goes into the ocean is so key too. So what is the solution? I'm not trying to scare you, because there is a really simple way that you can make a switch. And I have a product recommendation for you around this through this company called Brush with Bamboo. They make these biodegradable toothbrushes made from bamboo, and there's only a tiny bit of plastic in them. First, a quick history. I first learned about Brush with Bamboo maybe a couple years ago, maybe about 2 years ago now, and I thought they were great. They were one of, if not the first to market with this. Now a few companies have come up, but they're the only ones that really have stood out to me, and I want to tell you a number of reasons why, right? There are a few other businesses doing that, which are great, but I've never really connected with them, and that's why I'm bringing up Brush with Bamboo. These people are so amazingly passionate about the environment, and they're very supportive of veganism too. Sometimes the environmental and vegan stuff don't really cross over. So I think it's really amazing when companies are aware of both things, and that's definitely the case with this company. So they make these toothbrushes. I'll give you a good close-up here. Oop, upside down. Okay. And they're made of these bamboo stems and nylon bristles, just like most toothbrushes are. The cool thing is that these nylon bristles are actually BPA free, which, come on, focus. There you go. Which is not true of most toothbrushes out there. And BPA is a hormone disruptor, and it's been linked to a variety of different health issues. So if you're putting it in your mouth twice a day, every single day, that's really scary and dangerous, and that's true of a lot of plastic out there. So I love it for that reason there. I also love that they're very conscious about their bamboo. They source it from China, and usually I'm a little skeptical of when things come from China, but a lot comes from China, and especially bamboo. What's interesting is a lot of people think that if something's bamboo, it's automatically eco-friendly, but some companies still use a ton of chemicals, and they don't have great harvesting practices with their bamboo. Brush with Bamboo, on the other hand, raises their own bamboo specifically for this, and they don't use fertilizers or pesticides in what they're doing because they don't need to with bamboo. Actually, it kind of fends off all the pests and stuff like that naturally itself. So it's just really not necessary, right? And I think the other thing that makes them insanely unique is that they have zero waste packaging. There's no plastic. So this is all biodegradable. In fact, even the plastic looking wrapper, this isn't plastic. This is made from plants. Okay? It's completely compostable. Yes. Very, very cool. It doesn't say what plants, but it is. And it feels really cool too. Let me take it out of there just so you can see this. I don't know. Texture wise, I just love this. It's very satisfying. So, yeah. And the brushes are really, really soft too, especially when they're brand new. I love that. This company is certified by USDA and Green America. So many people are using them, including Robert Cheek, the vegan. He loves them too, which is really cool. And Ed Begley uses these brushes, so they're catching on. But they're a small business, and that's part of the reason I wanted to make this video, is to get the word out, because companies like this, I feel like, really need attention, right? Because we vote with our dollar. And if we're voting by getting all the standard toothbrushes in the standard store all the time, we're telling people that we want more of those, whether we realize it or not. Even when we take a toothbrush from our dentist, we're sending some sort of a message. So by you supporting a small business like this, there's fluff flying around in here. When you support a small business, you're really making a positive impact, and you're kind of telling the world, literally with your dollar, that you want more of things like this. The way that you can be really good to the environment when you're done with this is you can pluck the bristles out and put them in your recycling bin, depending on how your recycling works in your local area. And then you can upcycle this or let this naturally biodegrade. They've got a list of upcycling ideas on their website, and one of my favorites is when you pluck out the bristles, you can actually write on this with a Sharpie or something and use it in your garden to mark all of your different plants, or even if you have things on the windowsill. That is so cool. I need to do that. So this one is been used, and now I'm gonna switch over. I get to open up this really satisfying package. You can get Brush with Bamboo in some stores. They're available in Los Angeles, a couple stores out here where I live. Or for most of you, you probably just order online. And check down below, because if you're watching in December 2014, I have a special coupon code for you with free shipping. Great deal. So you can save some money on these. I want to hear what you think. What do you think of something like this? Is this something that you feel passionate about too? Have you switched over to this company or another company, and how has it kind of made you feel? Have you done any further research that you've been pulling up? Whatever else you want to share. And I also want to know from you, be honest, do you brush your teeth every single day? Most of you aren't going to answer that question, but if you're really proud about it, tell me. Tell me, yes, I brush my teeth twice a day, Whitney, and my gums are healthy and my breath smells good. Tell me that in a comment. If you found this video inspiring, entertaining, educating, whatever, give it a thumbs up. And please don't forget to leave a comment. I love hearing from you there. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do, so you will be the first to know when I have more videos to inspire, educate, and empower you about being eco-vegan. And I will see you next time. Bye.